is this great tent that's uniting the PTA, Latino community, Asian community, African American community, people all up and down the state around the basic idea that we should not accept being 47th in the United States in education spending. It's just plain wrong, and we need to stop it. Thank you. I'd be happy to take questions.
We do have time for a couple questions. Please wait for the mic this time.
I got the green button. Thanks. Can you hear me now?
Sorry, closer to your face.
Closer. Okay. Can you hear me now?
A little bit more.
Can you hear me now? It's on, but it's not working. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So the concept is very good. And first, can you tell us how much money this measure, and it's Proposition 38, how much it will raise per year on the average, say, for the next several years?
Yes. Over its 12-year life, it raises approximately 11 million a year. In the near term, it raises 10.
With a B, right?
Yes, B, 10 billion in the near term, and then it goes on for 12 years, and over the life of it, it's projected to raise about 11 billion a year.
Gotcha. I think your staff person indicated that about 30% of the proceeds would be eligible to go to other things, so that the rest of the state, I guess, isn't starved out. Is that correct?
Well, that is true for the first 4.5 years.
Gotcha.
Because we wanted to be sure of two things. Number one, we wanted to be sure that education was the principal focus of Prop 38. Our kids are the priority, and they get the bulk of this money. That's the whole point of 38. You want to help the kids? 38.
Gotcha.
However, we didn't want to leave the rest of the budget totally in the lurch at a time of such stress. And so for the next 4.5 years, until we can get a little more clarity about our budget situation, we are setting aside 30% of the money raised by this revenue initiative to help the rest of the budget, the non-school part. That's important. That's higher ed, that's public safety, it's all the things we care about. But this is the balance you see. We're not 47th in higher ed, health, public safety, or anything else. We're 47th in schools, and that's why, K to 12 schools are the thing that we are really in a hall of shame over. So what we say at 38 is, we need to help everybody else, but we need to be a big lift for the schools. Let's keep these people safe, but let's really lift the schools.
And my last question, if I'm allowed, my last question is, it would be a graduated increase, if you will, in revenue or taxes to help fund this. Can you explain that just a little bit?
Yes. We don't believe in sales taxes because we're a civil rights organization and they're very regressive. We're not opposed to you. It does say Proposition U at the local level, but for a big statewide effort, we really like the personal income tax because the personal income tax is very, very progressive in California. The federal income tax is not, and it's all true what you hear about rich people don't pay at the top and Warren Buffett's secretary. And it's really true the federal income tax system is messed up. It's not true of California's personal income tax. In California's personal income tax, the bottom half of our taxpayers pay very, very little of the tax. And so if you use the shape of the California personal income tax, it becomes a sliding scale where you just take the current curve, which goes up like this, very steeply on rich people. You increase it a little bit, just pro rata for everyone. And what happens is people making $50,000 with 2 children pay no tax. The average of, that is say, all different types of taxpayers between $25,000 and $50,000 is $54 a year. And rich people, $76,000. Again, like over the people who are making over $1 million in income in California, they're going to pay $76,000 on average more a year. We like this. We know rich people can afford it. Rich people have been prospering mightily. We've had our taxes cut by the federal government. It's obscene what's happened. And asking the rich to pay most of this tax is fair and right. And so that's how 30 works. It's very, very progressive, and it doesn't have, pardon me, 38, sorry, 38, and it doesn't have a sales tax, so it doesn't hit the low-income people. Any other questions?
We have time for
Oh,
one
yeah,
more.
one more.
Yeah. Real quick, how would you respond to someone who would say, why you should choose Prop 30 over 38? Or to put it another way, why should we vote or favor Prop 38 over 30? Either approach is okay. How would you respond?
Well, what I would say is Proposition 38 raises almost twice the revenue, which means that it raises like 50% more revenue out of people making over $250,000. It's a heavier burden on the upper income people. So it collects more money. And because it collects more money, it's able to do really significant things for the kids and meanwhile not desert the rest of the budget. The problem with 30 is that it's actually a fairly small tax, which is kind of a funny thing because it's pretty hard on poor people and they try to make it up with rich people, but it's just kind of, fundamentally there's not enough money in it to do all the things we need to do. And so what happens under 30 is that the kids really kind of end up not going anywhere. As you see, they're kind of going sideways net. But let me close by this, because I want to be sure that I get this message across to people. There is nothing wrong with a yes vote, because we don't know which one of these is going to pass. And we have recently seen some out-of-state money coming in that is worrisome to us all. It's worrisome to us at 38. And it's not directed at 38. 38 isn't going to be the target of that money, so that's another reason to vote. Be sure you vote for 38. It may be the one that doesn't get bombed to smithereens by the out-of-state money. But it certainly has made us feel like we have a lot of solidarity with everyone who is supporting 30, because we all have an enemy in common, and that is people who don't want the state to have any revenue whatsoever. So we need, because we cannot win without it, we need some people to vote no on 30 and yes on 38, because it's the one that gets the most votes wins. And 38, to help the kids, can't go into effect if absolutely everybody votes for both. But we don't need very many people to vote for 38 and not 30. And in this climate, we are very, very embracing of anyone who thinks, you know what, I feel more comfortable if I vote for both because I don't know which one is going to win. And that's just what makes me happy. We love all our yes voters. We support the yes decision. It makes a lot of sense to us.
Thank you again, Ms. Molly Munger. Next on our agenda, we're going to be coming back on the list a little bit to Mr. Joseph McCrae Sr., who graciously allowed Dr. Ami Berra and